Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Wisconsin Dells. Because it's been so long since I have been to the Dells, I kind of bounced around the Dells and covered a whole bunch of different updates. And so I created this map to kind of help tell you where the heck I am. To start, we are over at a new roundabout. How exciting. New roundabout here to control the flow into the Kalahari resort area. Looks very nice. A lot more of the same at the Kalahari compared to where we left it off last, so I'll pop in as needed as a description. This whole building is absolutely massive in person and is even taller than the existing extension on the indoor water park. It really makes an impression driving up on I-94 from the south. This shot shows the giant steel gray scaffolding that will serve as the extension and connection between the old indoor water park and the new water park. I'm really glad that it's going to be this whole large area rather than the wilderness style that's just kind of a hallway connector. This will really help integrate the two parks and have it feel more like one large water park rather than two separate water parks that were built next to each other. Also, this is really cool. We know that this is supposed to have a retractable roof, but as you can see, the upper tall extension has its own mini little retractable roof. So every single part of this building will have a retractable roof. That's a really cool attention to detail. That'll do it for the Kalahari update. Now let's head to the Wisconsin Dells Mountain Coaster. Here we are checking in at the Wisconsin Dells Mountain Coaster. There's actually a lot of people here. That is awesome. They also do a Halloween event, so they're nice and decorated all for that. We'll be back here up in a couple of weeks to ride it, get some night rides, and wow. Looks like they might be building some sort of little deck here. I don't remember this. Oh no,
you can lift the levers up, it's automatic right here.
It's a cover for the motor. They put a little cover in for the turnaround bull wheel over here. They also finally got their sign. Overall, the place is looking great, and I'd love to see them getting even more business. Now, let's head over to Dellshire. The entire entrance here, I think this is going to turn into more of a road rather than the driveway that this currently is. But this whole thing's ripped up. This whole thing's ripped up, and they're clearly working to get this thing open. I think next spring. Pretty awesome. Just to give context where this is, Mount Olympus is right over the hill right over there. That's Timbavati. That is Pirates Cove Golf. So that's the skyscrapers over there. And then this is Dellshire. All up on this hill that was basically hidden by a bunch of trees before. And now it's there for everyone to see. And this path going up the back over there, indeed, in spring 2026. I mean, the architecture is gorgeous. It's like really well done. And this thing makes a whole lot bigger of a statement than I expected it to, especially coming down the hill from up over there. I get a few shots of that. Man, this thing is massive. I'm really gonna be excited for all these power lines to be gone. They're freaking everywhere, and they're all gonna be removed with the widening and fixing of Wisconsin Dells Parkway here. See all the markers along here for all of the utility rerouting. This will be a much better view eventually when the leaves are all gone. It's too warm for all that to have left, but you can see the resort up through the trees over here. This is back by the old Fort Dells McDonald's. There used to be an amusement park located here, one of the first in the Dells. There's actually a Intamin gyro tower right here, but yeah. All of this land is owned by the Dellshire Resort, so I mean, obviously with this gorge, there's probably not going to be much happening here, but there is a coaster in the plans, and the coaster would be right about here. I think it would end up being a mountain coaster, though. Even that, it's going to be a pretty small mountain coaster, so we'll see. I believe at the pool up there, too. All the little abutments. As far as I know, this is one of the last remnants of Fort Dells. I didn't actually know you could see this here, but it's a little bridge, and then there's a little boat ride that kind of went through there. You can see the trough from Google Maps, but not really in person. You can see the whole resort back up over there, and then Fort Dells. Wow. We're back behind Starbucks over here. You can just barely see a retaining wall. Not sure what that's part of, but there is a flag back there. I wonder. Hard to tell, but that right there is part of the resort. So then there's a hill that drops down, and then it's flat until we get kind of over here. And that is where the coaster building would go. So I think they would probably do a dual lift set up over there, and give you 2 laps on about a 90-foot hill. That would be pretty sweet. This would probably be a relatively good shot to kind of show the transformation over the next 2 years, how this will look. This whole thing is going to get wider. This path is going to get way wider. It's going to be integrated with the new Dellshire Resort. Freaking awesome. Also, this dam is pretty. Damn. It was at this point that I realized that the Timbavati observation tower was in the perfect spot to get a view of the Dellshire Resort. So these are where I go into Timbavati again. Dellshire is serious. Oh my goodness. Holy shit. Slides are gone. Alright, hold on. Yeah, it's super windy, but wow, that is quite impressive. It's very large. What the entrance road is looking like. Lots of work being done. In other news, these are finally gone. When I was here last year, there's a slide tower right here. Over here is the really cool part for me. It's another water slide tower right there with the water slide obviously removed. Pretty decent construction over there. I wonder what that's for. Go watch my walkthrough for that. But there's a slide tower here, and then back over there, there's a wave pool. Seems like they completely tore out all the wave pool and whatnot now. That's pretty big. They've always labeled this plot as a future expansion, so maybe they're finally getting to that point. Or maybe because of that place, they're required to tear this down just for the looks. However, you can still definitely catch the bright blue concrete slides that are still built into the hill over here. Yeah, this entire slide structure is now completely removed. I don't actually remember being able to walk back here, but there's a whole slide structure up over there, and now it's gone. Tiny little thing. Yeah, it's completely gone. They did leave the umbrella. Wow. It's certainly imposing. Now kind of over here looking at the new project. This is called Olympus Road. This entire road didn't exist maybe a year ago, but we'll take a walk through it. Most of it is accessible. You can get through it on that end and drive all the way down here down to Belux, but currently it's cut off down here. I'll show you why. This used to just kind of go straight across here, but they cut it down to get down here at a gentle gradient up there. So that's building 7B, 7A and 7B for Mount Olympus. 8 and 9 used to be right on the end over there, but they tore those down because they were up on the hill that needed to go away. And then this is building 10 for Mount Olympus. The park is down there, and what this road is going to act as is the main entrance to the resort side of the park. If you're staying at a hotel at the resort, you'll take this road up from Wisconsin Dells Parkway over here, take it up over there. We'll go walk to where the road stub is, going that way. That's how you get to Hotel Rome, and then 1 through 7. And 10, and they also own Belux. Now there's a road splitting it in between, which means that they have bike lanes, crosswalks, and actual streetlights. Yeah, as you can see as we come down here, there's these big old barriers, and the road is meticulously, perfectly paved all the way up to the end. I'd use these sidewalks as a good example of how the new Wisconsin Dells Parkway is going to look, or that one's a little bit wider, and then this one's a little bit smaller. They're going to have one wider one, and then on much of the parts, it'll actually have, it'll be like 10 feet wide to accommodate bikes as well, whereas this has a shoulder bike lane, and then a standard sidewalk on the other side. But yeah, right now, this road just ends, which is really funny to me. It perfectly paved right up till there. Why? Well, this road, which is Highway 12 and Wisconsin Dells Parkway, there's gonna be a traffic light here at some point. And when this road is widened, they're gonna put a traffic light in right here and then integrate it with the road. But to make it extremely obvious that that isn't how it works yet, they cut it off and left about 20 feet of what used to be dirt and now is grass. You can see that these new traffic lights have little banner posts on them. I would expect that to be on the new traffic lights, or sorry, street lights that are down on Highway 12. I also noticed them on the road that isn't County A, going up next to the Wisconsin Dells Mountain Coaster. So it seems like this entire side of the Dells is gonna get a pretty decent facelift. Hey look, it says Olympus Drive. That's so cool, isn't it? You can actually see just how wide this sidewalk is. I think this is actually a 10-foot sidewalk. Yeah, pretty awesome. The Wisconsin Dells really isn't super compact, but it's compact enough that it'd be really nice to make it a little bit more walkable, at least bikeable or scooterable. A lot of the J1s that come in obviously don't have cars, so it's a really big boost for them when they live in their dorms, but can get around town on foot or by bike pretty easy. As I mentioned in a previous video, all of the driveways along Highway 12 that connect to Mount Olympus currently and all the resorts are going to be closed off. So I'm guessing they're just waiting on that to finish off this road. They've done all of the land clearing and removing the trees and all that, but they haven't quite made the road yet. There's a nice stop sign here. There's a nice no trespassing sign. But you can see from my drone flights that I coordinated with the park last year that this ends up snaking up and then taking a right, and then that gets you to the main resort complex over there. And yeah, Mount Olympus owns all this land. So much undeveloped land for future activities, I guess. Also, one fun thing to keep in mind, this road doesn't have any speed limit signs yet. Like, actually none. So, I've been doing 25 on it, but I've definitely seen other people do a little bit more than 25 on it. That's for sure. Well, yeah, this is a great road, and it's definitely going to be a lot busier in the years to come, but hopefully this is a nice sample of what we're going to get with Highway 12, because if everything's like this, man, that road's going to be so much safer, easier to travel, and much more fun to be around. Actually, this is even funner. You can tell that they plan to have this road go that way to connect, or maybe that's how it used to go, but now that's how the road goes. That's funny. We're here at the Wisconsin, where they're doing a pretty big rebrand. They're adding Farmer in the Dells restaurant with a roof, with a, they call it like a silo bar, a bar at the top of a silo. That looks pretty cool. And then obviously the whole hotel. So this has always existed, but they've done like a complete makeover that's basically made it a brand new